Chapter 10 The Citadel. Cal's point of view. I tried my hardest to resist the amount of pain and torture I was being put through. However, it became unbearable to a certain extent. Once the electrical shock stopped, I felt my restraints release, but I was too weak to move. The sounds of heavy boots slowly approached me, along with the familiar sound of an eerie mechanical hiss. Fighting is useless, Jedi, Vader began. What do you want with me? Why not just kill me off like everyone else? I reply. We have special plans for you. Soon, your abilities will be transferred. Stealing another's Force abilities isn't possible, I argue. Yes, we have had a few setbacks, but you see, Cal Kestis, that's where you come in. We have been experimenting on Force sensitives like yourself. However, almost every one of them backfired, so we disposed of them. The same way you disposed of them during the Purge? I fired back. Vader didn't respond to my remark. Move him to the Bacta tank, he demanded. Once Vader left the room, Kaya was just entering. 2 Imperial guards walked over to the controls of the Bacta tank. Got an update on where my droid is, traitor? I snapped. I have him in good care. As for you, I'd watch that mouth of yours, Kaya replied. I thought you were different. How could you turn your back on everyone? How did you even get near me? All part of the act, Cal. The Queen was gullible, just like every other person who believed in the Republic. I was lurking in the shadows. You Jedi are so predictable. Your compassion for others has led to your downfall. Taking over Naboo, the Katina on Batuu, and now, Jeddah. All part of the plan. As for these experiments, you're about to go through a blood transfusion process. Remember that former Force sensitive I mentioned? We've been testing on him, and he will be receiving your midichlorians. There's one thing you've missed, Kaya, I reply. And that would be what, exactly? She replies. The power of the Force. As I extended my left arm out, I used the Force to throw the stormtroopers aside. Kaya backed up slowly, but I could tell she was hesitant to run. You're gonna do as I say, or I'll throw you in the Bacta tank myself, I begin. I've worked too hard to let you slip away that easily. How will you even fight when you don't have a weapon? Kaya replies. Kaya reached for her blaster, only to realize it was gone. As she looked back at me, I slowly showed her the weapon. You win this round, but just so you know, I won't allow you to escape. Where's BD-1? I replied. He's in a cellar, along with your lightsaber, but there's just one problem. Let me guess, the Grand Inquisitor has them both, I finish. Precisely, and in order to get there you need, well, me. I'll get you what you want, but you won't receive either item until the transfusion is complete. At least answer this, I reply. Did you test on a Zephonian? Without saying a word, Kaya walked over slowly. I carefully watched as she pulled out a small rusted gold bracelet. Inscriptions were written on the side, but I couldn't make out the language. I hesitantly picked it up and felt a Force echo play in my head. I kept hearing the screams of the creature, pleading over and over for mercy, but it was too late. They were too weak to fight back, and as the transfusion processed, their life force depleted as well. I opened my eyes, dropping the bracelet after seeing the horrific image. The Empire had killed the last Zepho in existence. I felt my frustration grow, but this was no time to get emotional. I'm running out of options and need to find a way out of here fast. Take me to the Grand Inquisitor, I reply. What did you just say? You heard me, Kaya. I'm done running. I have a request for him. It's your funeral. By all means, I'll do it. Any funny business, though, and I'll shoot you on the spot. Rolling my eyes in response, I followed Kaya down the hall. Time skip. What a surprise indeed this is. Did you come here to beg for mercy? The Inquisitor taunts. I see BD-1 on his desk, beaming up the minute he saw me, but the Grand Inquisitor restrained him. I'm here to make a deal, I reply. I want to challenge you to a duel. If I win, you let me go. If I lose, you go on with the transfusion. Is this a joke, Jedi? Do you really think you could be strong enough to defeat me? Only one way to find out, I imply. The Grand Inquisitor chuckles as he opens a box. He turns it around, revealing my lightsaber. You really are foolish, Cal Kestis. Go ahead. See if you got what it takes to defeat me. The Grand Inquisitor pulled his lightsaber out. I used the Force to pull my lightsaber back to me, but I didn't ignite it right away. Instead, I took a few steps back, spreading my feet into a smaller square stance. The Grand Inquisitor crouched low, watching me closely as he got into his own guard stance. His lightsaber ignited, keeping the blade pointed down to the left. Taking a few deep breaths, I stepped forward as I felt my lightsaber ignite. I launched my attack, coming from the right side, bringing my blade down on the Inquisitor's left arm. He barely had enough time to parry my attack back. Taking a step back, he swiftly swung to my right, while changing the rotational direction mid-swing. I rolled down to the left, quickly getting back up on my feet. He struck again with a low right sweeping stroke. I jumped up in time to avoid the attack, now moving my feet to the left. I extended my right arm out, swinging to the top left of the Inquisitor's blade, following up again to his right. Feeling the exhaustion kick in, I backed up until I was against the window. I took in a sharp breath, holding my left arm out. Feeling a bit shaky at first, I lifted Kaya up, sending her towards the Inquisitor. Now distracted, I put my saber away and grabbed BD-1. I charged towards the window at full speed, breaking it as I jumped through. As I looked down, I noticed an Imperial speeder coming towards me, but I managed to grasp the edge of it. The driver got distracted and was heading towards a wall. Am I low enough to land carefully, BD? Trusting BD-1's response, I closed my eyes and let go of the speeder, expecting the worst. I was surprised once I realized I had landed in water. Once I was back above the surface, I swam towards a nearby cave. I wonder if this cave leads somewhere. Maybe the Empire has a few ships on standby. Time skip. Try getting the communications back up. I'll see if I can contact Master Kenobi. Wait, so the Empire has another Jedi in custody as well? Guess Kaya wasn't lying on that end of her story. Look through the data on here to see where they might be holding them hostage. BD-1 went through the ship's data log. After a while of scanning, he finally found the location. Wayland? Never heard of that place, but for what it's worth, I'm gonna need all the help I can get. I just hope Annika and the others are safe from the Empire. End of Chapter 10.